What up, big fella?
What's going on? What's good?
You doing, fella? You all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
He saw you were busy and he decided to go to you. He did it on purpose.
No, it was bad timing.
I'm just looking at my laptop. It's all good.
Are you as entertained by Cam Scattaboo as I am? The dude's a psychopath, and I love it.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game last night.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about. Well, I watched him in college, so I'm aware of his game. He's very physical. So
he's a lunatic.
Bowling ball, man.
It is the Rob Brown Show. It is the Fan Upstate. It is 8:40 in the morning on a Friday. The hashtag Friday Football Fiesta.
It is Friday.
I'm struggling, man.
I'm glad you figured that out.
Listen, we had a great sports night last night. We had MLB playoffs, teams going home, teams forcing game fives. We had the first night of hockey being back. Carolina Hurricanes 6-3 winners over the Jersey Devils. Good night last night. We had college football on, real good game with the Tulane Green Wave last night. We had an NFL game that was absolutely shocking because Cam Scattaboo is an absolute lunatic. So I'm a little geeked up about the weekend. I have to assume for right now that Rashad Beard, the host of the Panther Nation podcast, is also at least mildly geeked up for the weekend because for the second time this year, unsuccessful the first, the Carolina Panthers have an opportunity to put back-to-back wins together with the Dallas Cowboys coming to the crib. And the week after, Rico Dowdle lost his bleeping mind. He's taking on the Dallas Cowboys, his previous employers. Rashad Beard, you jacked up about Sunday, or are you just kind of in that, like, we'll see mode you've been in the last few weeks?
Yeah, I'm still in the we'll see mode. Again, I'm not going to get caught, getting overly excited about a game until I see it. I need to see it. But, last Sunday was great against the Miami Dolphins that we had a comeback victory, a successful comeback victory. We looked good. Like you said, Rico put the team on his back.
I'm not going to do it every time, but
okay. All right. Cause I might get caught saying Rico a lot. You can go ahead and do it one more time. But yeah, Rico is a beast. And yeah, he definitely put the team on his back and, helped us overcome a couple of turnovers from Bryce Young. So, again, there are some things we need to be careful about, with Bryce Young and the turnovers. We got lucky. The Dolphins are not a good team. We can't get away with turning the football over like that against good teams consistently. Obviously, we've seen that. But, yeah, we did it on Sunday, and so I'm happy about it. I enjoyed the bank. We are 2-0 inside of Bank of America Stadium, so hopefully we can keep defending the bank, and that will continue on this Sunday.
No, totally agree. Miami is not a good football team. At the same time, Rashad Beard, it was, as far as Tua Tagovailoa goes, one of the better games that he had individually, and yet you guys were able to kind of stifle that offense. I do want to flip to your offense at one point, but from the defensive side of the football field, it looked like it was the most comprehensive game that Carolina's defense has played. I don't necessarily think you look at it and you go, what a hell of a game. I'm saying it was the most complete game you've played so far. You will have to be better against Dak and the Cowboys to string two together. But the takeaway for me was at a spot where you're looking for any silver lining to tug on is a start.
Yeah, I mean, the defense collectively, if you look at the first 5 games, they're top 12, right, in total defense, which is something that I've asked for. I've come on this show several times and said, hey, all we need is our defense to be average. And they're doing that. They're doing that. And we need the offense to step up. But the defense, they did a good job on Sunday. They got 3 sacks, which matched their total in the entire season. So that's a positive. We're able to get to the quarterback, apply some pressure. Now, with some context, Miami has one of the worst offensive lines in the league, but we were able to take advantage of that, which is great. One thing we do need to work on is defending the tight end, because Darren Waller looked like prime Darren Waller going up against us early in that game. We were able to shut him down. I think Corey Thornton was on him, got matched up against him, was able to slow him down a little bit throughout the game. But early in that game, Darren Waller was going ham. So we need to make sure we do a better job against the tight ends, because that's not a good look. But yeah, the defense did a good job, and I will give credit where credit is due, because they made a change. And I think this may have helped a couple of people, especially our linebackers. We've been very critical of our linebacker play. And one thing the Panthers did do was switch the play caller. So now Trevin Wallace has the green dot on his helmet. He's calling plays, which allows Christian Roseboom to now play freer. He doesn't have to worry about calling the plays and all that stuff. That was, I believe, something that helped out, and it looked like Christian Roseboom was playing free. We saw him make some tackles in the backfield. I'm not saying I made a mistake on my show and said he looked like Luke a little. I got excited. I went a little bit too far, Rob. He did not look like Luke Kuechly, but he definitely looked better than what he looked in the first 4 weeks. So maybe that change definitely helped. So I'm looking forward to our defense definitely improving against Dallas. We're certainly going to need it.
Yeah, the tight end thing makes you a little nervous when Jake Ferguson showed back up last week with a couple of tutties for the Cowboys, and that if he gets rolling in that one, if Dak gets comfortable with him, then all of a sudden George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb on the outside get a little bit scary. I thought that the cornerback specifically, but the DBs played a better game. However, you are about to go up against an offense with, to me, a quarterback that's never been the problem for the Dallas Cowboys, and a pair of all-pro wide receivers on both sides and a stud tight end in the middle. What is the best and worst possible outcome with the passing offense? Because Dallas is not a great running team. If you can take the pass away, you give yourself a chance. Can you?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think Dak is playing really good football, considering what's around him. CD is out, so he doesn't have CD, which is gonna be tough, right? Without him, but Pickens, those other guys have stepped up. The biggest question for Dallas is that offensive line, right? They also have a not great offensive line. So the question is, can the Panthers once again take advantage of a weakened offensive line for a team? And the problem is that Dak is a much better quarterback than Tua. And so Dak is going to be able to get the football out, take advantage of the weaknesses in our coverage, especially in the second, in the linebacker room, covering those tight ends. So it's going to be a challenge. This is not going to be like last week. I think Dallas is going to be able to push the football. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. So whatever, I don't know what the over under is, but I would take the over because Dallas's defense isn't that great either. But I'll stick to Dallas' offense. But yeah, Dak is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough matchup for our defense. Our secondary is our strong suit, right? You know, you've got J.C. Horn, Mike Jack. Those guys have been playing very well. I think it's going to be a tough matchup, but I think the secondary is capable. The biggest thing we have to take advantage of is their offensive line. And I would also say we did a great job against the run last week. 19 total yards on the ground for Miami. If we can repeat that kind of performance, I think we can try to stop Dak. It'll be tough, but we're gonna try to stop him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the play. Again, taking away the run, making it be, Dak, if you want to beat us, you got to go get 303 tutties through the air, and then not letting him do that. Like, that's going to be the ball game. Flip to the other side. I have been saying that I do think Bryce Young can, and I say this because we've seen him do it, be better than a 191 touchdown kind of guy. At the same time, it is felt to me, Rashad Beard, as if that's not either what Dave Canales wants out of him in this offense, or he doesn't trust him to do more than that in the offense, or they are just trying to be a more dink and donk, but emphasis on the run football team, and that's why we're not seeing him pop off. Where do you think the roadblock is between Bryce Young and being the guy we saw in weeks 7 through 12 last year, this year?
It's interesting. I think the brand of football that Canales wants to play, I don't think Canales wants Bryce Young to throw for 300 yards a game. I think when you look at the Panthers' win-losses, the wins are when Bryce Young throws under 200 yards. The defense is able to do their job, and and we're able to run the football. You saw what happened with Rico. Like when Rico's getting off, we're good. We don't want Bryce Young to be able to have to take over a football game and put it all on Bryce Young. We don't need that, right? We don't need that. We have a good offensive line, which is one of the best run blocking offensive lines in the league, right? We can run the football. So we don't need to put everything on Bryce Young. He did a great job, and he does a great job when he needs to. Those fourth down plays last week, he had a couple of them. The throw to T-Mac where he, evaded the pressure and threw a sidearm to T-Mac on a fourth down. That play essentially flipped the entire game. There was another play that he did on fourth down. Again, the touchdown throw to seal the game. He's capable, but I don't think that's the brand of football that Canales wants. I don't think he wants to put everything on Bryce Young's shoulders. This is a team game. Let's run the football. I think that's Panthers football. If you look at the historically, we've always been able to run the football. So I think that's what we want.
I think that's fair. I also said that that play, that pass, spectacular. That touchdown pass to Xavier Legette was about as pretty as it gets. I mean, anticipating the spot, getting it to the spot, getting it to where XL's going to be, but in the spot where only he can get it. That's one of those passes that you look and you go, friggin' that. Like, let's pull that out of the bag every now and then. But I agree that those passes and those plays were there because Rico Dowdle's out there being a dog. What do you make of what Rico Dowdle did? Is that he took everybody by surprise because he had not had that much emphasis in the offense because it's been Chuba's game and it was breakout? Do you make Rico Dowdle is him? Like, where do you land on his performance and potentially the ability to do it again against the team that signed his paychecks last year?
Yeah, I think, man, Rico, people forget Rico was 1,000-yard back last year with Dallas, right? So he is certainly capable of doing what he did. Now, that being said, Rico, it was fantastic. But I got to be honest with you, Rob. I probably could have ran for a hundo against against Miami. The rush lanes were wide open. He wasn't getting contacted until like 5-6 yards down the field. Our offensive line did an amazing job, and I think Rico would tell you that first. Our offensive line did an amazing job run blocking for him. Rico obviously he has great contact balance. He runs with power. He's not going to go down on the first hit. I saw that when he was able to get touches prior to this game, when he was splitting carries with Chuba. I wanted to see more from Rico because he runs angry. You know what I mean? So the Rico is certainly capable. And we have a great problem. This is what depth looks like, right? We haven't seen it very often in other positions, but our running back position is a strength. And I'm certainly happy that Rico's on the team. But yeah, I think he's looking for a little bit of revenge against Dallas. I think there's a lot of crossover between Dallas and Carolina. There's a couple of players on their team that were once Panthers and vice versa. So this is going to be an interesting game, but I think certainly Rico can do it because the Dallas defense is not that great. So I think we can certainly, maybe not 200, but I think he can certainly eclipse 100 to 150 yards.
Rashad Beard of the Panther Nation podcast joining us here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Talk to me just the 36,000-foot view. What is going down in this game? What's your final score prediction?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think both defenses are going to have trouble stopping each other. I think it's going to boil down to who can make the last stop, right? I think that it's going to be tougher for Carolina. This is Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback. We're going to have a hard time slowing down that offensive attack, even with CeeDee Lamb being out. We got to be able to stop the tight end. Ferguson is a beast. Being able to stop the run game and put the ball in Dak's hands, make him throw the football. I think this is a winnable game for the Carolina Panthers. I think that it is a home game, and we have been able to protect the bank. Although it's going to be a lot of Dallas fans inside of Bank of America Stadium, it's going to be like a pseudo home game for Dallas. That's wherever they travel is basically a pseudo home game. But it's going to be a tough matchup. I'm going high score. I don't do score predictions, Rob, but I do think the Carolina Panthers can get the W.
Yeah, I think it is a winnable game. The take I had, Rashad, fair or foul, the take I had was it's a winnable game. You're going to have to play the best game you've played all year to win it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's going to be wire to wire. First quarter to fourth quarter, every down is going to matter, and Bryce ultimately has to protect the football. Bottom line, period.
Yeah, that rolling out to the left and just dropping the football, that's the mark. As a mark of somebody playing scan. Don't get me wrong. Like, the thing I have tried to tell people since then is, Bryce was getting his bell rung, right? He was getting his ass whipped when that happened. He was taking shots. So, like, I get it. But at the same time, even if you're taking the shots, man, put that thing away. Like, if you see the hit coming, just tuck it. We'll take the sack before we do that. Anything like that happens, shots over real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we fought back against Miami, but we can't continue to rely on that comeback. It did not work against Arizona. It worked against Miami, but we cannot continue to rely on that comeback. That's putting the ball in Bryce's hands, and he has a clutch gene in him, like we've seen in Alabama. He has it in him, but we don't want to rely on that every single week. So let's let the defense do their job. Offense, play safe football, protect the football, and I think we can win this game.
Rashad Beard hosts the Panther Nation podcast. Follow them on X at Panther Nation PC. More importantly, find them on YouTube. Click the old subscribe button. Get yourself locked in. Going live Sunday, going live Monday, going live both.
Probably. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a it's emotional type of guy. We'll see. One thing is we have an opportunity to be 500, right? The Carolina Panthers have the opportunity to be 500 for the first time since I think 2021. So this is a great time for Carolina Panthers football. We haven't been 500 in a long time, so I'm looking forward to it. And I probably will go live if we get the W.
You know, I kind of knew that, but hearing you say it out loud kind of hurt a little bit. I mean, not me, but for you. You know what I mean?
No, it hurts.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
It's like, man, I hope he's not accurate with that, but I'm sure he is.
That's a long time for a team that always plays 2 games to start the season, and just winning 1 would put you in that spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's accurate, unfortunately. For sure.
Rashad Beard, big dog. Enjoy the game this weekend. We'll talk to you next week, brother.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
You got it. Anytime. Rashad Beard. Panther Nation podcast. Again, make sure you're following them on X at Panther Nation PC. Make sure you follow them on YouTube as well. When we come back, Kevin and Jarrell from the Moving the Chains pod will get us set for the high school football around the Upstate this evening. Then Denton Day of SiriusXM's College Football Overtime joins us to break down the college football weekend. We wrap up the show with our NFL picks, all coming up on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Now, the Rico Dowdle of Sports Flashes.
I hope so. I hope it's that successful. The New York Giants shocked the Eagles last night, which was not successful, handing the defending champs their second consecutive loss for the first time since 2023. With a 34-17 win, rookie Cam Scattaboo rushed for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Jackson Dart completed 17-25 passes for 195 yards and a score. In the MLB playoffs, the Dodgers punched their ticket to the NLCS and ended the Phillies season with a 2-1 win in 11 innings. Tyler Glasnow punched out 8 and allowed 2 runs and no hits across 6 innings. The Phillies had just 4 hits, going 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And the Chicago Cubs stayed alive, beating the Brewers 6-0.